Awesome. Hey, everybody. My name's Kakuyon I'm a trumpet player. And yeah, I was invited to be part of the um, alternate venues of jazz live talk today. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about jazz and this music and how I got into it and why I love what I do now as a young musician based in New York City. I just graduated from Princeton University, where I did not study music. I studied African American studies, but throughout my time there was a very useful train that went straight from Princeton to New York City. And I would be in the city for gigs, for shows, and for sessions. And yeah, I was very grateful for the type of college experience that I had, and that I was able to kind of balance both my academics and my budding music career. Um, I guess one thing I'd like to talk about is how I got into this music. Um, let's see. I was given a horn at an elementary school, fourth grade. We were all given the option to choose your instrument. And they said that in order to go to fifth grade, which at the time seemed like such a big achievement, you had to you had to take a band class, an orchestra class. So everybody got to choose like clarinet, saxophone, or the flute, or the drums, trumpet. There was no trombone. That was all of them. Yeah, and I chose this instrument right here. It's not the same horn. um, because I remember in the morning my mom would drive me to school. We would listen to WBGO, and the trumpet was like the instrument I was always able to recognize, and to I knew Miles Davis. Plus, I had three buttons, so it kind of felt like maybe it would be doable for me. Maybe not too much. Um, I've gotten older. I've been playing since fourth grade. I'm 23 now, so about maybe 13, 14 years. It's one of the hardest instruments. Very humbling instrument. Helps you learn a lot about yourself and your ability to be patient and dedicated. Um, I just want to make sure, if any point, if you guys can't hear me or can't see me, just let me know. I can still see this chat on the side. Um, I just want to make sure that everything is all good on my end. Give me 1 second. Okay, yeah, everything seems to be good. Um, so yeah, I was playing in fourth grade. We played band, and I was having a good time. And I didn't really get into playing jazz music until one time my father, who was a painter and he had art gallery shows and openings in Montclair, New Jersey, right? So he saw that maybe I was getting a little bit more serious about the horn. He had me come to one of his art gallery shows and said, "I want you to play, just blow." And I didn't know what I was doing. I was probably just playing random notes at the time, and I was very nervous. I remember being very nervous, and I remember I met this woman. Her name was Janet, and she was the founder of Jazz Connections, that later became Jazz House Kids. That's now Jazz House Kids, run by Christian McBride and Melissa Walker. And yeah, she taught me my first song. She was like, "Hey, like, listen to this." She played Freddie Freeloader by Miles Davis on her phone and had me learn it like on the spot at the gallery. And at that time, it didn't sound like that at all. But I remember I had so much fun because she said, "Now blow, now improvise." And I was like, "What's that?" And she was just like, "Just blow, like play your song, play your story, play your song. That's not the melody." And so I remember, man, what was that like? That was just it was a really freeing feeling, and I remember I had so much fun. And I would go. I would bring my horn to my dad's art gallery shows, and she'd be there, and she'd teach me a new song. And she gives me. I remember she would write out maybe about 5 or 6 notes. She had a basic knowledge of the trumpet, and she'd write about 5 or 6 notes, and she'd put them on a piece of paper on the stand, and it was like, play these notes, messing around with them. Later, I figured out that's pentatonic scale. Um, if any of you guys know what that is, it's a form of of an African scale, I believe. Once you add one spicy note in there, it becomes a blues scale. So that's what I ended up, using to play. And wow, yeah, this is really crazy. I haven't talked about this in so long. But yeah, she later brought me to Jazz House Kids. She was like, I think you would really thrive in this program. They bring in like world class professional talent like Billy Hart, Christian McBride, um, Winston Marsalis, even like people that might be on the verge of pop. Like I remember Sting was there, like the trumpet thing, yeah, or not Sting. I think Sting was there one time, but I think I'm trying to say Chris Bodie. And yeah, it was a. I think I really got serious about jazz when I made contact with Janet, and when I got set up with private lessons at Jazz House Kids. And yeah, I was there about 5 years, 6 years. Um, Toured with the big band a little bit, did some shows. And one time I remember I played with Jay Leno. It was a cool time. It was a really nice time. And later I got into college, and I guess I was still trying to figure out where music sat in my life, whether or not I wanted an academic career. I always knew music would have to be part of it, or some type of engineering. I actually went as a computer science major, and I changed because I'm a musician. And this is what I actually wanted to do, and I didn't want to do something just because people said you had to. Because the only way you can make money is by being good at computers, being good at engineering, or even just going to school or going to an Ivy League school. Like, I'm very grateful for my college experience, but I do think my mindset going in was somewhat clouded by and a little warped by what I was told my options were. Now I know I could do anything, and I could do anything with this music, you know. And I think, yeah, this is a very open-ended environment. But one of my goals for this music, and for me, just as a trumpet player, is to be something of a everything man, you know. And I think that takes a lot of time, patience. I think it takes a lot of diligence and dedication. I want to play jazz. I want to play bebop. Um, but I also want to play hip hop. I want to be on Rolling Loud in the same weekend that I just played at Dizzy's in New York. And I think that also has a lot to do with my mom, who, growing up with her, she was a big fan of neo soul. I grew up at a Lincoln Park Music Festival and Afro Punk, where she held positions of, pretty sure they were administrative positions, and we always got passes. And I was always surrounded by like very, very black music, and I don't take that for granted. And I think that's why the way I've come to conceptualize music and jazz is that it's a it's somewhat political. Jazz isn't even something that jazz musicians wanted it to be called. It was the coin term. It was a term coined to sell the music, but it's Black American music, and I never want to stray. Sorry, I'm in Harlem, and I never want to stray from that. I always want to be seen as somebody who's willing to push that envelope and push the limits of this music. But I think that involves never forgetting the tradition. And I think you have to know where everything comes from. Just like all forms of history, I think you have to know where things come from in order to not repeat, but also to grow. You know, um, I think growing up, I wanted to just be like a straight ahead cat, like. And now I kind of want to play like everything. One of my idols growing up was definitely Roy Hargrove. I got to see him one time at Newport Jazz Festival before he passed, and it was really a dream come true. Like I remember, I was like, I was would have been some year in high school, and I was like, I have never seen somebody dance on stage. Like he would play a note, play a little solo, and then just start grooving, and I was just like, man, is that professional? Like, that doesn't matter. That's what it's dance music. That's what it's about. And yeah, I was barely. He was one of my, and still is one of my biggest music influences, along with Miles, uh, Donald Byrd, Art Farmer. I've gotten really into Booker Little lately, but I think just because like Roy was around, like for me to see, um, yeah, I was really broken up when he passed. Like I didn't know him personally, he didn't know me, like, but like his music carried me through a lot and just made me feel like a lot was possible, like just with this, like the same neo soul tracks that my mom played for me growing up, like D'Angelo's Voodoo record. I grew up learning that the horn lines that I've been bumping to when I was like 5, 6, 7 years old is Roy Hargrove. Just like being called to the studio, like, "Hey Roy, can you lay something down?" I'm like, in the studio, I got this record. Can you play something? And he comes through and plays some really soulful melodic lines, and yeah, um, I think I might be getting a little bit um, off topic. Um, or maybe not really. I think, yeah, my appreciation for cats like Roy and even the the hole that I think all entire jazz community still feels from his passing. It's just kind of a sign of like what this music can do for people, and what it did for me. It saved my life like many a time, and I don't think that's a joke. I don't know where I'd be if I didn't have something that I get to do that also provides me with mental, physical, and emotional stability, you know. Um, and I think that's an advice that I'd give to young musicians is just look at the cats who like sound and live the way you want to, like sound and live the way you want to, or way you see yourself living, and then say no to like everything that isn't that. Everybody's like, you have to be this way. Like, no, actually, no, there's someone who did it this way. So that means it's possible. And that'll give way to you being somebody who does something completely new. And then you get to be someone else's inspiration and you get to help free somebody else, you know. Um, I think that one of the biggest things about this music is finding ways to stay encouraged and stimulated. I think you never want to get dull. You never want to feel like you're not having fun. And I feel like with the stress of maybe money or maybe just like conforming to a specific style for a certain gig, um, I feel like everybody has the potential to fall into a way of life where music might be a part of it, but you might not be having fun. And I'm sure that's not why you fell in love with it. Like when I was a kid, I wasn't thinking about money. I was thinking about, man, I'm at this art gallery. I just learned Freddie Freeloader. I'm having a great time. What is this note? What's that? Like, keep it fun. Keep it always in a place of like constant learning and growth, and never lose like that curiosity. And I think that I'm at a place in my career where like I feel like there are a lot of paths open to me, and I've been blessed to like make a lot of connections, even especially as of recently, with people who I just used to listen to, um, and I feel like it freed my mind in a very spiritual and musical way. Free Your Mind is a song I used to listen to by Jasmine Horn. And I remember we got up maybe a couple months ago at a hang at Smalls and like listening to her play, just listening to the people you listen to in person and then meeting them and getting inspired, I think is also something I'd encourage young musicians to do. Like get out there, meet people, don't be shy. Everybody fell in love with this thing at some point and has their own story and is really excited about yours too. So yeah, I've been talking for a long time. Um, I think I'm gonna pause for a little bit and look at this chat box. Okay, I'm just now seeing all the chats. Okay, I was at the private chat. Now I'm in the comments. I see you guys. Okay, I'm gonna sip some water. How we doing? Are we okay? How am I on time? Right, upcoming projects. Okay, okay. Right now, I feel like I am a little, and I think this is a really good problem to have. Is I feel a little all over the place. Like I have a lot of pots on the fire. I'm currently working on writing an EP, um, probably like 4 tracks, and that about be my first um, rec- record out, or you know, a piece of recorded work out, and I wanted to represent a lot of the ideals that I kind of talked about here, which is what jazz, I don't like that word, but like Black American music and like the Black art form, Black written verse, this Black art, what that means to me, what I think it means to this country. Black American music is American music. You know, there'd be no rock and roll, no country without Black folk, and there'd be no bebop without Black folk. There'd be no R&B. There'd be nothing. Negro spirituals turned into soul, turned into R&B, turned into Mooney Long, and all this stuff. And I'm grateful for all of it. And I kind of want to write something that's concise and I don't mean to sound like I'm on a high horse, but like provides people with some type of insight into what they're listening to, you know. And that's one project. I'm also trying to do stuff that are, yeah, I love Nicholas Payton, and that's definitely somebody as far as like the politics of like my music and how like I understand jazz. Once I heard his, I actually talked to him a couple times, but only like in passing, like at a show or me asking for like a lesson that I couldn't afford at the time, but he'd give me like a really discounted price because he's a really sweet dude. Um, yeah, once I heard like his own take on Black American music, and you know, he's really passionate about that stuff. So like people like that make me feel less alone, and they give me inspiration. I love Nicholas Payton, and I talk about. I feel like I resonate a lot with how he's conceptualized music. Can I play something for you guys? Yeah. What have I been playing lately? There's just one trumpet player. I don't know why I didn't mention him when I was listing off trumpet players, but Clifford Brown. Um, he died in a car crash among trumpet players, and I think jazz musicians in general. We all consider him a king uncrowned. He touched so much, like just like musically, and just like as a person, like in such a little amount of time. Like I'm 23, and I feel like I can like pray to be on his level of versatility and uh, efficiency to like convey emotion in 2 years. But yeah, there's this song called "I Remember Clifford" that another trumpet player, Lee Morgan, wrote, who I love, um, and I've been playing that a lot lately. Trying to get that under my fingers and in my ears. It's a really long melody. Um, Sometimes I play shortened versions of it. Thank you guys. But yeah, I feel like especially as a somebody who kind of had my own encounter with death in college. I lost someone very dear to me, my brother, and that song is about loss and about remembering somebody and always kind of acknowledging their presence. And I think that that's a really beautiful way to look at grief and also to continue to sing somebody's praises. And I think that's another reason why I like that song. And just like music in general conveys things that are really hard to do with just the mouth. And but I also think that words are powerful, and I think they have their own place, which is why like I'd really like to take on some grant projects that kind of uh, I'd really like to apply to this thing called the Mellon Foundation, that for a an artistic project that creates an archive of Black American music and its own position and each genre's, how do I say this, how each genre fits as a specific role in the Black freedom struggle. What was R&B doing in the times of the Black freedom struggle? What was jazz doing during the times of the civil rights? You know, I feel like this music gets really political, and I feel like it comes from, especially for Black people, a place of survival and a place of struggle at the same time as beauty. And I think I never want to forget that. And yeah, I feel like anybody who comes in this music should come with an understanding, no, not an understanding, but a willingness to learn, including myself, about where it came from and why it's played the way it's played. And yeah, what's its purpose? I think all art has some type of purpose. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still learning though. Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. I'm having a great time hanging with you guys. I was painting my house and like going in and out of the shed. And what was I checking out? I was listening to Charlene by Anthony Hamilton. I'm gonna play that at my next gig, and then I'll play like some bebop. I really like confusing the crowd. Like I really like having people just like, what does he do? Which one did they play? All of them. um, let's see. How much time do we have? Right now, I'm currently working on a website for myself. I feel like I didn't have as much time when I was in school, and I kind of have a lot more time to devote to my craft. So I kind of want to talk about my academic interests, my research interests, and have a website for all of that at the same time as like my my passion for art, my project, my EP, and I want to have somewhere where because I don't feel like a lot of people are doing that. Doing this music and just like art in a way where like you also have words attached and some type of. I don't think all art needs to be analyzed. I think it helps sometimes. You know, how do I say this? For me, at least for my budding career, I want somewhere where people know what I'm talking about. Like, this doesn't come with words. These are notes out of a piece of brass. You don't always know that you know what I'm talking about. And I think that's also the beauty of like jazz. You could talk about like how you're feeling. It could be like really great, really beautiful, or like really twisted and messed up, and it just sounds like he's having a great time up there, But I want people to know why I'm playing the way I play and the choices that I make because I think that that's equally important. But that's me personally, and I think that varies from musician to musician, or artist to artist. Yeah. Yeah. What are some of your guys' favorite musicians like right now on the scene, or like who you guys like checking out? I think I saw Miss Void. I think you've managed some artists I might have played with. I think I was checking out your site. Um, do you manage Don Braden? Yeah, there it was. Yeah, I think I played with him. Really? You managed Tyreek? I love Tyreek. I was just on the train with him the other day. There's no way. I love Tyreek. He's such a sweet dude. Very, very, very gifted cat too. Um, yeah, I mean we might have to talk. I need a manager. But yeah, I love yeah, Tyreek's great. And he was just talking about you, actually. He was like, yeah, my manager said this the other day. It was something you guys said that was like really insightful career advice. And I was like, who are you with? I don't think he told me, but that's really funny, actually. Wow. Um, yeah, when me and Tyreek just played, we were at Smalls and he was on drums. Did you guys know he plays the drums too? The cat can sing. He can play the drums. He can play the bass. Yeah, he was playing Caravan. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good. Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, I feel like it's really dope when worlds collide, and also just like I don't know, like the music industry is kind of hard to find like genuine people sometimes. I think that's any profession, so I don't really take that for granted. Like you guys, Tyreek, Don Braden's also a really cool dude. Um, so I'm glad that I got the opportunity to hang with you guys, even if just for this bit. Um, yeah, thank you guys. Um, do you think what's the best avenue? Do you think we should? I could keep going. I don't have anything to do today except practice and maybe go to a gig later. Or if you want to end it soon, that's also cool.